Hey, Shalom Akim. First, foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachak Kodash, the barners under the elders, Apostle Millstone, the elders Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect, the sincere servants of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, serving in truth and sincerity. You also on the brother Chayaba from ZMS Plain Tables Camp. Come back with another lesson to his spirit. So this lesson be based off of 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. Going into peace and safety, then sudden destruction. As we keep saying nowadays, within these end times, we're seeing wars, rumors of wars being fulfilled. And with that, we see nations trying to introduce ceasefires, peace deals, so on and so forth. But according to prophecy, it won't last. The scriptures say, as we're about to read, peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So let's go ahead and read. It says, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Read it one more time. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So there you have it. So what? They say peace and safety. Sudden destruction comes after they say that. And what? It arrives. What says travail upon a woman with child, meaning a woman in labor. And they shall not escape. So boom, just like a woman in her contractions. And what, the water breaks and she's about to have the baby. What, the same way is going to be with the nations. Sudden destruction comes when they least expect it. What, it says, and they shall not escape. So we know the ultimate form of this is when we know Esau mandates his mark. They think they're good. The other nations follow suit with the beast system. And then as we know, the scriptures go into how these other nations will make an alliance against Babylon the Great to destroy it, which is America, which we know Esau's main headquarter nation is America. But even Esau is going to be divided amongst themselves. So what? Right when Esau thinks that he's going to be good with his NWO, Yahushua is going to come back. And within that, Babylon the Great being destroyed, and the war of Armageddon, that war within the Middle East region, that's what's going to happen. So sudden destruction, and what, Yahushua coming back to finish the job, which is taking down these other nations and setting up his people over all of it. So let's go ahead and get an article. It says U.S.-Iran ceasefire proposal emerges as 10-day truce plan circulates amid escalating conflict. So yeah, ceasefire proposal is being emerged. It says as 10-day truce plan circulates amid escalating conflict. Yeah, we know that previous U.S.-Iran deal was broken. But let's go ahead and get into the article. It says mediators, including Qatar and Egypt, have proposed a 10-day ceasefire between the United States and Iran to revive the collapsed June agreement. Yeah, they said, what was Trump saying in June? That the war is over, or what, that the ceasefire is introduced and there's not going to be any more fighting. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, it completely collapsed and it broke. It says the proposal would halt hostilities, resume shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, and salvage a 14-clause memorandum of understanding. Iran has confirmed receiving multiple mediator proposals while avowing continued resistance to U.S. military strikes. U.S. strikes have expanded beyond the Strait of Hormuz to target Iranian infrastructure in Tabriz. It says Urmia and Khuzestan. It says Iran retaliated by striking civilian infrastructure in Kuwait, including power and desalination plants hosting U.S. forces. So these other nations are trying to step in by introducing a 10-day ceasefire. But it won't stop. So what? There's a contradiction here. They're discussing a cool-off period, but both sides are still striking and preparing for greater war, which we know that war is World War III. That's what they're preparing for. So this isn't peace being established. This is just peace being discussed in the middle of destruction, because the scriptures don't say that there's going to be any peace. So let's go ahead and get it. Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. So there's no peace unto the wicked. When you get that word for peace within the Hebrew word is shalom, which says completeness, soundness, welfare, peace. So there's no soundness for the wicked. There's no welfare for the wicked. It says welfare, a state of health, happiness, security, and overall well-being. The condition of faring well in life, especially in physical, social, moral terms. So that's what they want to get back to. I mean, they want to get to that state. So that's a state that they want to get back to. It says safety, quiet, tranquility, friendship. So then there's not going to be any friendship or tranquility or quietness. No, things are going to keep on getting worse. And there will be no peace, as we just read. So read it once more, Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. So this proves that any peace deal, any ceasefire, any negotiations that are made, there's advantages being put on an open wound. It's not going to fix anything. Why? Because there's no peace unto the wicked, saith the Lord Yahweh. But you know the ones who are in rulership right now are the Edomites, so-called white men. And we know how the top of Esau are those elite international banking families. What, they control all the money, all the wealth in the world. What, so them having control over the money, they have control over the world as a result. What, they print money. That's how much control they have over it. So it says there's no peace, like the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. And yeah, the wicked right now, Job chapter 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So if there is no peace unto the wicked and the wicked is ruling, then what state is the earth going to be in? It's going to be the opposite of peace. Which is what? Chaos, turmoil. That's the general state of the world, because the wicked is in rulership. As scriptures say, Proverbs chapter 29:2, when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Basically paraphrasing. Let's go ahead and get Luke chapter 21:25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Yes, so it says, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. So the conflict is not just affecting the U.S. and Iran. It's affecting the surrounding nations. Or not even just, we can see it's affecting all the nations in the world, because the Strait of Hormuz covers such a big portion of the world's global energy. So we see mediators trying to what? To prevent that wider war, regional war from spreading. But you cannot put a bandage on an open wound. So it's going to keep on getting bigger and worse until that destruction happens, which is already prophesied. So what, they want stability, but they won't be able to produce real peace. So every proposed solution that they give, another economic or military issue is going to stir up. Just like in a cartoon, when you see the cartoon character putting their finger in one hole and then water comes out the other, and then you put in another hole and then water comes out the other, and then they got to put it. It's the same thing. They can't stop it. And it's going to continue to get worse until everything bursts, which is that destruction. So this is the condition that Yahushua said will be upon the nations. So this is all red letter, by the way. So Yahushua spoke this. And Yahushua comes in a volume of book. So every last thing that's written within this book will come to pass concerning the things that haven't happened yet. You know, word for distress within the Greeks, sunoke, it says holding together, or it says, straits, anguish. So there's going to be straits and anguish among the nations, and it's going to continue to get worse. It says anxiety. So they can't stop the distress and anxiety and anguish and straits. It says perplexity, Greek word aporia, a state of quandary. Quandary meaning a state of uncertainty, confusion, or difficulty in deciding what to do. A situation in which someone is perplexed or at a loss. So there you have it. This proves that these nations won't know what to do. So they're going to keep on trying to fix things that are clearly going to have no effect. A 10-day peace deal isn't going to do anything. It's just patching up something that can't already be healed. Which Yahweh Bashim Yashah already put all this into place. The distress and perplexity between these nations until the full war is broken out. So 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 says, peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So peace language appears before sudden destruction. We just brought on the article on how they're trying to introduce a new ceasefire proposal so that U.S. and Iran stop. While this happens, war preparations continue pursuant to Joel chapter 3 and 9. Isaiah 48. We just read how wicked rulership cannot produce lasting peace. Why? Because the foundation is already corrupted at its core. And we just read in Luke chapter 21 and 25. And we see that the result of all this is distress of nations with perplexity. So this is going to keep on happening until the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America, happens. And that full war breaks out within the Middle East. So we're watching the pattern becoming clear. Peace is spoken. War remains in the heart. The nations can't come to an agreement. And the day of the Lord continues approaching. So that's what we're waiting for. So Lord's brothers out there edified. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakurash Brakatum.